Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk about brush strokes. To demonstrate for you guys how I learned and how I practice my brush strokes for modern calligraphy, I'm going to be using my brush calligraphy workbook that I created about over a year ago. There are lots of practice pages inside of this book, and so I thought it'd be perfect to make a video on it to just kind of share some of the things that I've learned in the past. Practicing your brush strokes or your strokes for modern calligraphy is really important because it's going to affect the overall look of your words, and it's good to just build in the consistency of how you begin and end your letters. Today I'm going to use my favorite pen, which is the Tombow fude pen, and I'm going to be writing on top of this vellum paper. It's really nice smooth paper and allows for me to make easy strokes. Now we're first going to focus on light up strokes. Every single time you go up, just like I said in my previous video, you're going to want to try to get the thinnest line as possible. What's really nice about this pen is that depending on the amount of pressure you're going to put on the paper, it's going to make either a very thin line or a very thick line. So with the light up strokes, I used less pressure to get that thin effect. And then now for the thick down strokes, in order to get that very nice even thick line, I'm going to apply more pressure. You might notice that at times it can be difficult to make a consistent thin and thick line. So this is where practicing often will come in handy. The more that you can practice getting your hand to be consistent in applying pressure, the better your words are going to turn out. Now when I begin making my letters, the stroke I'm going to use is what I like to call an opening tail. So as I make that opening tail, I'm going to go up, and as I go up, keep it a thin line, and on the way down, apply more pressure to get a nice thick line. So here I'll demonstrate how I use this beginning letter stroke for some of the letters, such as the letter M, the letter I, and the letter N. Essentially, you can use this beginning letter stroke for any letter that you'd like. These are just some examples. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do letter stems. This is a stem that I use very often in my own writing. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to go up, and then you're going to bring and loop your pen around to go back down. So as you go up, make a thin line, and once you get to the top, you're going to loop it around and apply harder pressure to go back down. I'm going to do that again a couple more times. For this letter stem, what you're going to do is you're going to start at the top, loop it around, and then go back down. So light pressure and then hard pressure as you're going back down. I like to use both of these interchangeably to begin each of my letters, as well as to start my capital letters. Here are some examples of how I use both of those stems for many different letters. Take note that you can use them for uppercase and lowercase letters. let's move on to end of the letter strokes. Every single time I'm finishing off a letter, I'm going to put hard pressure down to make that thick stroke and give it a nice little thin tail. So here are some examples of how I do that. I'm sorry the video is cut off right there so you can't really see it. So there's the D. I'm going to bring it up around, loop it, and then go straight down and give it a little tail. And here's the N. And here's the letter M. This next one I like to use for any letter that has a tail that goes well below the typical word line. So you're going to do is you're going to go down, and as you're going down, you kind of want to make sort of like an infinity sign. This next one is just your typical tail, where you go straight down, apply hard pressure, and then just bring that tail back up. The last stroke I'm going to show you guys is similar to that infinity type style of a tail, except instead of stopping it midway through, you're going to wrap it all the way back around and connect it with that first loop. And if you don't have a calligraphy pen to use to practice, that's okay. I really encourage you to bust out that old school pencil and practice. I think this is a great way to practice without having to waste your precious ink. You can save the ink. And also, it's just an easy way for me to figure out how I like to form my letters. So the more that I can get my strokes to look consistent, the better it's going to be when I actually take out a calligraphy pen and start writing words with it. If you are interested in purchasing a Tombow fude pen like the one I used in this video, then I'll leave a link down below so that you can check it out. I typically like to purchase them from Amazon.com because I feel like they're a lot cheaper than buying them at my local art store. You can also buy them from the Tombow USA website, so that's another option for you. And there you have it. That is my video for you on how to do brushstrokes for modern calligraphy. If you're interested in picking up one of my brush calligraphy workbooks, please leave a comment down below. Currently, I don't have them for sale or for purchase just because it's something that is near and dear to my heart, and when I stopped selling them last year, I wasn't sure if anybody else would be interested in them, so I kind of stopped thinking about them and just stored them away. So if you're interested in getting your hands on one and purchasing one, please leave a comment down below. That way I can kind of get a good feel for if it's even a good idea to get it out there. There's lots of other resources that are available to teach you and to show you how to do modern calligraphy. So I'm positive if you type down free modern calligraphy worksheets on Google, you will definitely come across something. Thank you so much for watching and for listening in. Please don't forget to like, to share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.